What's up, guys? Welcome back to the channel. Today is Friday, October 17th, and the market will be open in about 10 minutes. So, as always, I'm trading NASDAQ futures, I'm trading the micros, and I'm probably just going to stick with the micros from now on, because even with the evaluation accounts where I was trading 1NQ instead of micros, you know, I've got my strategy set up where I can just do 10 micros. So it's pretty close to the same anyways. Commissions might be a little bit more, but it's just easier for me to keep up with instead of clicking back and forth between NQ and MNQ charts. So that's just something I've recently changed. I'm just going to stick with micros. And when, you know, in funded accounts, $50,000 funded accounts, micros that's as big as you need to go anyways. 5 micros is my max size for my funded accounts. So for the evaluations, I might go up to 10, 15, maybe 20 every once in a while. But let's check out the accounts. So of course that top one's just a sim account. The next one down is an actual funded account from Apex. Right now sitting at 51,679. I'm currently down on that one this week. I'm about $600 down from where I started the week. So I've had a couple of losing trades on that one. I've adjusted my strategies and adjusted some of my criteria for taking a couple of the trades that I take. So I'll have that back up in no time. I've got to get that back to where I can get another payout. I was getting pretty close to another payout, and then I had a couple of losses. So I've got to work my way back up from that. And the very bottom account, that's an evaluation account, currently sitting at 51,444. And I'm actually down about 200 on the week on that one. Same thing, had a couple of losing trades. I took the same trades pretty much as I took on my funded account. So down a little bit, but you know, it's still doing pretty good. And the middle account here, that's an evaluation account that I've been trading for about 16 days so far, which usually I don't even give an evaluation that much time. I try to get them passed in a few days, but I've been just testing some different strategies, so I'm just kind of giving it more time on these evaluations this go around. Instead of being so aggressive, I'm trying to just fine-tune a couple other strategies. And yesterday I made an error. I was setting up another ATM strategy here where I can just use my hotkeys or click buy or sell, and it'll automatically use 10 micros with a certain profit target, certain stop loss already ready to go. When volatility gets to a certain point, I use those ATMs, you know, with hotkeys and stuff, so that I can just click a button and I'm in the trade. Stop loss is already where it needs to be. Profit target's already where it needs to be. And so I thought I set one up with 10 micros, and I actually did it with 20. And I didn't catch it, and it was a trade that I was scaling, and I ended up having a loser on that trade. So I was in with like 4 times the size that I should have been, than I wanted to be. And until the trade closed from hitting the stop loss, and then I looked down, you know, just happened to look down at my accounts down here, I saw how much in the red I was. And I couldn't figure out why, and then I finally looked up here, and I had accidentally hit a 2 instead of a 1 while I was typing in. I was trying to type in 10 MNQ and then my profit target and stop loss, and I set that strategy up with the wrong amount of contracts. So that costed me there, but I'll have that back. You know, before you know it, it'll be back in the green. And I will get that account funded. I've made a couple of changes to my trading. I'm focusing mainly on 2 different strategies now. I've just been using this week kind of as a testing week to test these strategies to figure out which ones I want to stick with the most, fine tune a couple. But for the most part, I'm going to be trading just two strategies. It's just an extreme momentum continuation where all of the time frames, all three of these time frames are synced up, and the candles look a certain way. The momentum's strong. We're not getting much recoil on the candles, so I've got a strategy for that. And of course, the two consecutive 5-minute momentum candles with a strong close under the right conditions. You know, that's a continuation trade. So I'm mainly just going to be trading momentum and continuation because that's what has been kind of like my bread and butter these last few weeks. Those are the trades that when the conditions are right and I hit those trades, I stack up profits pretty fast. So I'm going to stick with those and just be patient and wait for those setups. So that's the game plan. I've changed things up a couple of times these last few weeks, but you know, I'm having less red days. I haven't blown accounts in a while, any evaluation accounts in a while. You know, I've got a funded account right here that's hanging on pretty good. I'll have a payout before too long. You know, I got a payout just not too long ago from that account. So everything's working, and I'm just kind of fine-tuning a few things still, but I'm slowly getting a strategy and just an overall system of strategies, you know, dialed in to where it's going to be super consistent, and these accounts will get funded faster and faster. Payouts will hit faster and faster. So that's the goal. We got about 4 more minutes until market opens, so stay tuned. Let's see what kind of setups I can get today, and make sure you're subscribed to the channel. I post a lot of good stuff. I do these videos every couple of days. I post a lot of crypto updates, so make sure you're subscribed for that. So let's get at it.
A video on the rule that prevents losses. That rule was about
it's a 100-point candle.
About staying alive long enough to play the next hand. What we're saying here builds right on that foundation. Losing small is the natural extension of that rule. You can't prevent losses completely, but you can make them manageable. You can make them part of your plan instead of part of your downfall. Most traders treat losses as failure. Professionals treat them as expenses. Every business has costs. Trading is no different. Your stop loss is the rent you pay to stay in business. You can't run a shop without paying rent, and you can't trade without taking losses. Stop increasing position size to make back a loss. You stop needing the market to prove you right. Instead, you follow your plan. You take your small losses like a surgeon, clean, quick, and without regret. You let your winners run with calm confidence. Over time, your equity curve stops looking like a roller coaster and starts looking like a steady climb. That's the truth about trading accuracy. It's not a game of being right more often. It's a game of managing being wrong intelligently. The trader who...
Alright, I took that one off at like 13 points for a total of 559 in profit. So now that evaluation is over 52,000. So that's good. I'll take that trade on the evaluation account here. That's a
and the major, the
44, 55. I'll try to get 20 points on that. Just doing the evaluation account because for it to be an A+ setup on the, I would need a couple of candles to close strong there. So I'm going to wait for an A+ setup for this funded account.
It was 22% under the list
But
price.
see if we can get 20 points on this eval.
Medicaid, Medicare ended up paying more for those drugs than they were paying beforehand. They only got a benefit on one drug. One was tied. 8 of them were low. So
ATR is still very high.
doing something that every administration, Democrat and Republican, has been saying that it was going to do.
Alright, I just took that off.
And you got it done because you
I'm up to
understood the power of the
52,
terrorism.
248 on that
He had
one.
leverage over these companies.
Kind of a risky trade, so just going to wait. if I can see a strong close on that 15, which we just got, so I'm going to go ahead and try to grab
this morning before I came in here, somebody showed me
20 points on that one.
Of a pregnant woman, 8 months pregnant. She is an associate professor at the Columbia Medical School, and she is saying,
try to grab 20 points on that. We had a strong close on that 15 there. 2 consecutive bullish 15-minute candles with a strong close on the second one.
The level of Trump derangement syndrome has now left the political landscapes, and it is now in the realm of pathology. And a mother could overcome millions of years of maternal instinct to put her baby at risk. And all you have to do is look at the studies which you and I talked about. It's not this positive that causes autism, but it is so suggestive that anybody who takes this stuff during pregnancy, unless they have to, is irresponsible.
All right, so
there are 15 rodent studies, every one of
taking that off.
If you give it to the mother, the baby.
I need to see a strong close on this 5-minute bar for it to be A+.
Some of the people, JD, you were fantastic, and Pete, you were great. Marco was fantastic. But some of you were very much involved. I'm looking around. So indirectly, I think almost everybody in this room was involved. Susie, I want to thank you very much. You were incredible. You've done an incredible job. So, and yes, John, what you've done was invaluable. CIA, John Radcliffe, and you've done an incredible job. So I want to thank you all, and if I'm missing anybody, I apologize, but you've been amazing. And then you have Steve Whitkoff, who worked so hard.
All right, let's see if we can grab this short here. We had 2 consecutive 5-minute bars with a strong close on both of them. So that's pretty strong momentum towards the downside. Trying to grab a little over 20 points on both of these accounts.
That's going to happen too.
Let's see if we can get that.
They're losing about 7,000 people.
Scale up on that account.
Pretty bad. Mostly soldiers, young soldiers. They go out to war. They're getting killed. And while it doesn't
all right, that one
us in a lot of
is
ways,
funded now.
We've got a big ocean in between. You don't want to see that happen. It was a big mistake. That war should have never happened. It would have never happened if I were president. So we're here this morning for a cabinet meeting as my administration continues to deliver for the American people, despite the radical left lunatics that shut down our government. You have Democrats that
all right, I got my stop protecting my profits here on the funded account.
They know who to deal with.
Oh, stopped out for a little bit of a gain there.
A clean, nonpartisan bill to reopen our government, and remember, at the same funding levels. Both parties are supported in the past, so the radical Democrats have chosen to put the economy of our country in the best.
Okay, guys, so as far as the video is concerned, I'm going to call it done for the day. I'm up $1,582 in this evaluation account, and so it's now funded. It's now at the funded phase. It's over $53,000 in profit, or it's over $53,000. So that's over the $3,000 profit needed to get the account funded. So probably tomorrow or so I'll be able to go through that process, get that set up as a funded PA account. So that's good. Then I'll be working with 2 PAs, so now my payouts will be doubled. That's amazing. So now I'm going to keep watching the charts for the rest of the day, and if I see any other, A to A+ setups, I'll take those. And I'll just size my positions accordingly. So I'll still trade this funded account and this evaluation. This evaluation where I made that error setting up my ATM strategy yesterday. It's a little bit below 50,000, very close to trailing drawdown. So I've scaled it down to 2 micros. I'm going to take a few trades on that if I get the chance to get it back up. At least a few hundred above 50,000, and then I can scale it to maybe like 4 micros, 5 micros, and then back up to 10 micros. And by the middle or the end of next week, I should have that account back up close to being funded and everything. So I'm just going to take it slow. I've already been trading that account for 16 days, and like I said earlier, I've just been working on a couple of things, tightening up some strategies. So it's kind of just been an experiment anyway. But I will go ahead and get that account funded just because, you know, why waste an account when I don't have to? All it is just taking a few extra trades, and then I'll have another funded account. So once I get this account funded, which hopefully by the end of next week, you know, I'll be working with these 3 funded accounts. So as soon as I get that one funded also, then I'll add another account, work my way towards getting that funded, and then keep scaling it up one or two accounts at a time until I have 10 funded Apex accounts. And then I might add in a take profit trader one here at some point soon, just so I can be getting the daily payouts. And eventually I'll have 20 Apex funded accounts and 5 take profit trader accounts, and I will use a copy trader probably once I get up to 4 funded accounts. That way I can just copy trade 2, switch over, copy trade the other 2, and I think it's way more it's way safer to only copy trade half of your accounts at a time, just in case you know, you lose a connection or anything can happen. So if you're only copy trading half of your accounts, you know, you may only take a big hit for some reason on half of them, and then you still have the other half. So if you're close to a payout, you know, half of them you can still get that payout, and then you just have to work your way back on half. So just to play it safe, just an extra form of risk management for the things that are out of your control. So that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to keep it on the charts, see if I can make any more progress on the funded account, maybe make a little progress on working this evaluation back up towards over 50,000. So thanks for watching. Subscribe to the channel if you like this video. Leave a comment. And just stay tuned to the channel, because probably Monday or Tuesday I'll make another video. So comment below, give me some feedback. And until the next video, peace out.